Cam Meekins show. Kyle Beats in the building.
Woo!
Let's go. Man, I feel like there's a million things we could talk about. We've been friends for a long time, so why don't we start? Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? Let the people know. I think
everybody.
The Kyle Beats Army is probably watching. So
my name is Kyle Beats, aka Kyle DJ, aka fucking 40 other things.
Kyle Grantland.
But now the world knows me as Kyle Beats.
Where did Kyle Beats?
World.
Why Kyle Beats? I think I know the answer, but
yeah, I think I might have. I've said it a few times, but it was just it started with some kid in freaking. I was always making those little remixes. 2011, back when like was it White Panda or whatever? Remember those like White Panda remixes and shit? And like,
I did a show with White Panda and
I knew that actually.
3,000 people.
So like back when those were really big, I started using like video editing software to get like Katy Perry pretty much doing what they were doing.
Yep.
But on like video editing software because I didn't know what I just used Sony Vegas. I didn't know what any music software was. So I just pulled them into the audio tracks. I'd get like an acapella from like Tupac and I'd get a freaking Katy Perry instrumental or some shit like that. And then just make a bunch of my own, like pretty much the same thing as the White Panda remixes. I made a bunch of them and I would like play them at fucking in like college parties and stuff.
So you were really DJing. You were really mixing.
Yeah, I would just play them, and then one of my friends would just because like no one like the best day of my life was when I put one of those on and no one realized that it was one of my fucking because everyone would be like, what the fuck is this?
Because you were just like you had the aux type shit, like you were just at the party.
Like, everyone's like, oh, Kyle's playing his fucking remixes again.
Yeah, right.
So one of my friends would be like, oh, throw on a Kyle beat, like I said, just like fucking around, just as a joke.
Yep.
And then during that time, remember I had like KGRV and shit.
Like I was trying to,
I was just trying to think of a fucking name, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking do Kyle Beats. Just flows. That's
so. For those of you that don't know, Kyle Beats, big producer, entrepreneur, YouTube phenomenon. What else would you call yourself? Artist. You do a lot. You're a man of many.
Yeah, I think everyone
faces.
just knows you for freaking YouTube producer. YouTube music producer is like the main thing.
You may have seen his drip plug-in advertisements.
That's so funny, dude. People have seen those more than they've seen like anything else at this point. But fucking hopefully in a year, no one's even going to remember that, you know?
Yeah.
That's the way it fucking hopefully will work.
So you were really just always on some making beats, making mashups. Like, have you always been into music as a kid, or like did that start in college?
That's actually how the video editing started because I've told the story a few times, but like it was always like based on like when I would edit a video, it was because I really liked a song. So I'd pull the song into freaking Windows Movie Maker, or I would play a YouTube video I really liked. There was some NBA mashup, whatever thing that I really liked, but it used some like rock song. And I was like, dude, this would work so much better with like this Lil Wayne song or whatever. So I'd mute the YouTube video and play the LimeWire song. And then I'd do that. Like I get obsessed with things. So I'd do that like 40,000 different times.
Right.
And then the song would always like hit at different points because the timing was always different. And then I was like, oh, that's when I found Windows Movie Maker because I was like, this has to be a way I can make this like permanent. And so I pulled in the video into Windows Movie Maker, pulled in the freaking audio, and that's how like the video editing thing started. So anytime I'd find like a new song I liked on LimeWire, I'd be like, all right, what am I looking at right now? I've been watching Cristiano Ronaldo videos on YouTube. Let's fucking make a Ronaldo mix with this song. So they kind of went hand in hand. And
so then it was like video mashups with song mashups, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. And I always like loved music, but freaking in 2008 when I was in high school, and like during that time it was like impossible to even figure out, I didn't know what MIDI even meant. So I was like, the computers were ancient, like
right.
How do you plug in a MIDI keyboard and make music? And I didn't have a Mac or anything, so I was like,
I was gonna say GarageBand was really your only hope at that point.
Yeah, like GarageBand was like the way in, but
right.
I don't know. I just didn't really find a way in until I went to like a computer lab in UMass Lowell, and they had freaking Logic on there or whatever. And I just started messing around on it and just making little stupid beats.
And you were you played college soccer, right? So you were chasing the athletic dream for a while.
I don't know. I wasn't chasing anything because I wasn't like trying to do anything with it. But yeah, you just get lost in just like, fucking. The only mission was like, it was like, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, literally at that time, all I was worried about was like today. I was like, this week, like we have a game in 2 days. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just thinking about what am I doing right now? Like it's just when
That
you're
sounds kind of beautiful.
it's just like but it's just like you're not fucking. Yeah, it was great because we weren't doing anything. Like when you're in college, you're kind of just like getting through each day. You're not really thinking about life. Like I'm thinking about life more so now.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much just freaking college soccer until.
So I'm just trying to figure out when the transition was for you to like dive into the creativity. That's what like fascinates me is like and like I know you better than most people. We've been like, you're one of my best friends. We've traveled the world together, done a lot of stuff. And I've always seen you as this incredibly creative dude, right? Like, any type of creative thing, video, music, whatever, you'll put your mind to it and figure it out, or you already have the skill. And so
I think I've always just been like that.
You always kind of like that? Like
even back in freaking, because the problem was I didn't have like the internet wasn't what it is today. So you couldn't really get all this information to even do what we're doing right now. Like,
yeah,
the cameras weren't even this good. You know what I mean? So you had no money to do anything. There was no information out there. But like, even just thinking back to like freaking middle school, when I was playing Halo 2, we didn't just play Halo 2. Like I saw, this kid has mods on his account. So he's running 100 miles an hour, just all that, those crazy Halo 2 mods. So then I went to the store and found out what like a Game Shark was. And then you have all the cheats. And then like, just literally, I've always just been like that. And then I think it really started to flow. Like all the computer stuff started going hard when I was doing video editing. So like in high school, like 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was always just some new thing. And then when I learned how to when I learned how to make beats, dude, it was over. Like once the story of how I started making beats was my junior year, my whole apartment got freaking robbed at UMass Lowell. So like I had a MacBook, couldn't figure out. GarageBand was cool, but it felt like it wasn't good enough. Like it just felt like I was sampling little beats, but they were kind of just like, lame. Like they weren't really anything promising. And I seen everyone was using FL Studio. I would literally just sit on my computer and listen to fucking SoundClick beats all day. Just producers making beats on SoundClick. And then once my apartment got robbed, my mom got me a freaking $200 just like PC for school. And then
no more GarageBand.
Yeah, the next day I downloaded the FL Studio demo. And that's when FL Studio is like super easy to pick up, but you can really make some like crazy stuff with it once you get into it. So that's when I just went ham on the beats for the next, literally till I got out of college.
Yeah, so you went all in on the beats, and tell that story a little bit. How did you get into the idea of like, I could actually make money making beats? Was it seeing all these SoundClick people? Because at the time it was SoundClick. That was the online producer shit where,
Yeah, so I saw that, and I saw people were making money, and I probably tried it for a second. I probably had a SoundClick account, but like I was like, there's no way people are actually making money on this. Like everyone from Boston's I say this all the time. Everyone's like a firefighter or like works a desk job, or there's no like anyone who tries music usually nothing comes from it pretty much.
Yeah.
Or they just go about it the wrong way or whatever. For most people anyways, that was the trend for me growing up anyways. Like there was no way.
Especially in a city like Boston where we're from, you see a lot of people get into music, but then not have, there's no foundation in Boston to get plugged into an actual industry version of like the creative music path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boston has education. They've got Berkeley and, people really good at music, but there's no streamline into how do I make money and a career in music. And that's changing now because of the internet. And,
because I really like the idea of doing my own thing and making money on the internet.
Right.
And I love making beats, but I had no idea they could go together at the time, AKA while I was trying to do apps and stuff. So like for junior year and senior year, I was pretty much just making beats. And then when I got out of college for those 3 years, just literally making beats for the hell of it. Like just because I love making beats. There was no like, there was zero, just like, there's no way I could ever make a living off of this.
It wasn't turn this into a career.
No, there wasn't one thought in my head. I was like, I need to make an app or something. And this, keep in mind, this is like Instagram's blowing up. Mark Zuckerberg is fucking, everyone's finding out who he is and all this stuff. So I'm looking at different things. I'm not looking at.
So you wanted to be successful, and you were creative, and you thought, I can put, my head, just focus on creating the best web platform, app, game. You were just trying to make
Icy Penguin.
Icy Penguin,
Yeah, it was just constantly constantly trying new things. I'm just the thing I always say is I'm just a dreamer. Like there's always just some fucking new thing that I'm trying. Just to
yeah. Why do you think that you have that confidence? You know what I'm saying? To do it. I mean, I've gone through my life in a similar way, and I always chalk it up to, I feel like I've got this perspective because I had this near-death experience, and I've told that story a million times, but like for me, that's where I kind of get my drive of like, you got to do kind of what you want to do. Like you only have one life. Why do you feel like that? Why have you always been, because you were never, let me go down the, even though you went to college, you were never like, let me go down the traditional route, work for a company. You said, I want to start my own company. Whether it ended up being music or an app or whatever, you were like, I want to be an entrepreneur. What do you think mentally is it for you that makes you kind of have that confidence, that drive?
I don't know. I think like, I feel like I just want to be different. That's like the core part of it is just like, I just want to do something exciting and different. That's just like,
but did you ever have a moment where you realized like,
I think the big moments were in like high school when my mom sent me like a freaking one of those motivational videos, which at the time were on like Facebook, of just like, I have the video saved on YouTube. It's like Jim Carrey, Will Smith, Donald Trump, the dude who wrote the book, or Robert Kiyosaki or whatever, he wrote the book, Rich Dad,
Poor Dad, yeah.
Which I didn't know who the fuck he was at the time. Like Tyler Perry, and there's all these successful people, and they had like flashes of like Bentleys driving by and stuff, and like just like it was just like a montage of just people's success, and just like the most epic music behind it. Just like strings and just like that crazy type of music, which is like the type of videos I would make at the time. And I saw that, and these people were talking a certain way, and they're like billionaires and successful. And they're like, basically Jim Carrey told a story about his dad fucking trying to be a comedian, or he could have been a comedian, but instead he took the safe job as an accountant and all this stuff. And I don't know. I mean, a lot of it was just like, I just wanted to be different. Number two, I just could not I just didn't want to work. I don't know. I just always wanted to do my own thing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something else when I was way younger that made it like that, but I don't know. Just pairing all my fucking strong traits together.
Yeah. I mean, it's the passion, the creativity, but then you still have to have that something that tells you like, forget the negativity, forget all these people telling you to go this direction, go the other direction. And 99% of people.
It's not easy, dude. It's not fucking easy. I think right. Like, for me, it was, I just knew people were wrong about things, or I thought people were wrong. But you're also not thinking about life like that when you're that age. I was just fucking kind of flowing and doing what I wanted to do. And like, I wasn't really worried about when I was 18, when you were 18, you were fucking, in LA and you're thinking about taxes and shit. When I was 18, dude, I was a fucking disaster. Like I'm just no money. I'm in college, just sleeping till fucking 2 p.m. Like I'm not even thinking about life.
I've got a theory though about people who go through their adolescence with this like fuck it mentality. Sometimes it's just you're just being stupid and you got to get it together. But I think other times it's a sign of very high intelligence, because you understand kind of fundamentally without even thinking about it, like subconsciously you understand kind of what life's about. And so you see, oh, I'm young and this is the only time that I'm going to be young. I have to live day by day right now, and I'm going to figure it out. I think subconsciously, I would imagine you always knew you were going to figure it out when you were fucking around in college, living your life, having a great time. And I think that people who don't want to follow the rules when they're kids, when they don't, they kind of just don't believe that any of that stuff is necessary. I think it's a sign of extreme intelligence. Not always, but sometimes. That's a theory that I'm working on. I'll work out the kinks. I'll let you know.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've always said that like I wanted to, work for myself and stuff, but I don't know what the core root of that really was. It was probably just a bunch of different situations and then just fucking genetics. Like my mom was always like that too. Like she'd always just be saying inspirational stuff and stuff all the time. But
so she just had faith. She was a positive.
Yeah, she would have quotes on the fridge and stuff. So I've been learning a lot about the subconscious mind the past few years too, and just like, dude, I write down my goals every morning now, as if like they already exist, as if they're already real, and like, so I think that was a big part of it. Because like another person could have been born in that same house and seen all the things in the fridge and live the exact same life, but whatever way it was that I just took, I was like, all right, I want to do something different. I would just want it to be different. Like if I walked into school and everyone was tired, I had fucking energy. If everyone had energy, I was tired. Yeah, I just wanted to be different too. Like that's part of it. There's a million different things, I think.
Yeah, I get that. Obviously, there's so many things that add up to create a life. But I always try and find that common thread amongst people like us who are doing their own thing and kind of just setting your own path. I'm trying to figure out what is it that inspires us to be like that, because I think there's young kids out there that are like that too, and they're trying to make sense of it. You know what I'm saying? And
I think what I always say is just like, dude, we're floating on a fucking rock in outer space. Like that was one thing that I always thought about. Was I kind of was just like, I feel like I'm the master of overthinking. And I'm good now at like not doing that because I'm realistic. Like, okay, the decision I make today, you don't really have a choice. Like it's just, you just have to make the decision now. Like, so I'm really good at managing that now, like making the decisions. But when you're fucking 16, you're just overthinking everything. Like I was in my head so much. And like, I feel like because of that though, I was able to really, you're able to like work your way through it to like, if someone fucking comments on my Instagram, this fucking guy's an idiot, I hate his plugin, whatever, like you can realistically like think your way out of it. But like, I don't know. I was always just thinking that, dude, like this is like, what is this? We're in outer space. Yeah. This is life. Like at the end of the day, everyone's going to be gone. And it's a line in that sweatpants thing. Like in 100 years, nothing really matters here. Like,
yep. Well, this goes back to my theory is that like, I think some people have this fundamental understanding and some people don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Some people get lost in the fucking sauce of life, dude.
Right.
But I understand those people because I feel like I was lost in the fucking sauce too, where in high school and college, you're worried about these little fucking issues. And then as you keep growing and evolving and just fucking.
Was there a moment where it switched for you?
No.
It just gradually you went into more focus and.
Yeah. I think my story as a whole is just a fucking day by day fucking thing. Like
yeah. I hear that.
There was no, it was just all fucking inch by inch.
Right. We'll get into that, I'm sure. Why, I think there's an ice cream truck driving by my studio, so you might hear that in the background. Why did you decide to go on YouTube?
I don't know. I always liked YouTube. I felt like I always wanted to be a YouTuber, but fucking terrified of being on camera. Fucking, what am I gonna film? No idea what I'm gonna film. I was posting YouTube videos, I was posting the beat making stuff. That's how I got into beat making, was the few YouTube videos there were. I was watching them, like the Ryan Leslie making beat videos.
Those were the
I mean, there's a few of those that I've watched like 400 times. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
Ryan Leslie sitting in his Mercedes about to go into the
Yeah,
studio.
that shit was so cool to me, dude.
Those were the original like best YouTube beat making videos. Or Kanye making that one beat in the studio. Now I know it
Yeah.
ain't no way
So,
I
so
can
I always just
go.
wanted that, and I think that's what a lot of people, like a lot of creative people, want is you just want to make shit, and you want people to just see it,
Yeah.
give their
Yeah.
opinion, and figure out is this good, is this bad. That's like the main question I get. Just people who just want me to listen to their music and like watch their YouTube.
So
video.
so you were going on this path of really getting into production. We'll jump around a little bit. I know your story, but I like talking about it. It's a really inspiring. You're a really inspiring dude. Your work ethic is incredible. So I'm curious how you connected the dots of I'm starting to succeed as a producer using the internet, you know, kind of growing my producer brand, and then turning that into the Kyle Beats brand.
Yeah, but
of-
it's just like a fucking day by day thing. There is no fucking connected dots. Like,
no, I don't even mean that. I guess I just mean like, you know,
how did I like?
how did it
into this
happen?
brand?
How did it, you know, I know you were living in Florida, you know, you were producing and you were putting the beats on YouTube, and then
Yeah, it's just like a fucking slow and steady thing. Like I just started selling beats on the internet. I seen people were selling beats. This is 2016 now. Tried some other shit, whatever. I'm 23 at the time. I seen this dude Taz Taylor was posting how much money he was making selling beats on the internet. He was just showing his PayPal freaking notifications. I was like, what the fuck? Like people are actually making money doing this. So like it was
Right.
almost a jump from 2012 where I was like, I'm not doing this. People are making money. All of a sudden, 4 years later, holy shit, I should be doing this. People are making like hundreds of thousands of dollars selling beats. And then, so I went all in on that. That was like fucking right around the time where we went on the Mike Stud tour. And then
Yep.
I was literally like, dude, I had fucking like $150 or $200 left in my bank account at the time.
Yeah, well, me and Kyle went on tour together. Kyle DJ at the time. We went on tour with Mike Stud, and this was right as you were really starting to get your
It was
producer channel
yeah, it was
going.
like 4 months into going all in on the beats thing because I was doing them for years.
Yep.
But now I was like, I'm gonna sell beats.
You were at the point where you were saying, "I'm going to make all my income off of
Exactly.
doing that." You gave up any other. And how did you
commit to that.
commit to that? I know you hustled and you stacked up. You fucking drove Uber.
Yeah.
but
So like when you're coming up, it's almost like you have to see someone else. You feel like you have to see that it's possible for you to try it. You know, now I'm at the point where I've done enough of things and tried enough of things that I can just see something that no one's done and that doesn't sound possible and like, you know, get it. But when you're at that point at the beginning, it's like you have to see like that it's possible. So when I saw that, you know, Taz was making money, then obviously I went into other people's, I just deep dove into other people's YouTube channels and beat stores and seeing the numbers they were doing like views wise. And I was like, damn, they must be making this much money. This person must be.
you kind of gamify it a little bit.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, that is the trait that I tell that is like the main trait that I always say that you need to have is like, you just need to be obsessed with something. You need to be addicted. Like when I get into something, I go down a fucking dark tunnel where that's all I think about. Like a lot of people get deterred in life because of the 400 million fucking distractions that they give themselves. Whereas I spend so much fucking time alone and focus on these certain things so much that I can just go down a deep, dark tunnel of just focusing on something. It's literally why I'm so good at fucking Mario Kart. Because I just find this one thing, I pick it up, and I just over and over and over and over and over can't stop fucking doing
Yeah,
it.
this is why I like talking to you because again, like, you know, I'm a person, I like to like kind of analyze. I think about people a lot. You know what I mean? My dad always taught me that if you want to know people, you want to understand people, you got to think about who they are. You know what I mean? Like a lawyer thinks one way and a doctor thinks one way, and you know, a music producer thinks one way because they're in this, you know, world of focus where they just, you know, that's how their brain starts to work. And so I think about the way that you operate a lot, and it is this incredible focus. You know what I mean? And that's such a good point. So many of us, I do this all the time, put a to-do list together of 80% of the shit is just completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's the 80-20 rule. Like, 20% of the stuff makes us 80% of the money, but we don't focus on the 20% at all.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's like a big part of like my podcast is doing well. Like I haven't posted a podcast. I've posted like 4 podcasts this entire year, and I was doing one once a week, and I was doing a bunch of TikToks too that were doing really well. Like I was getting millions and millions of views on TikTok, but it's like that wasn't the main fucking horse. And even if it's like 10 minutes of like, even if it's like 10, 15 minutes of posting TikToks, it's just another thing that was like distracting me from from the main focus, which is like the main thing is YouTube. Like that's the main thing that's getting me the most recognition, bringing the most streams of income, and just creating the most real like growth. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's more numbers on fucking TikTok if you look at it, but like the most real growth for me is through YouTube. And I was so I just paused a lot of that for a while until I figured out how to just like, okay, how can I just jump in like this, do a podcast, and then fucking leave and I don't have to touch it. Someone else just takes over.
Is it this balancing act of like, you have to constantly remind yourself, like, go back to the main focus. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of it for me is like distractions, dude. Like I'm fucking like, Vanessa's mom was here for Thanksgiving, and just like one little thing being thrown off my schedule. Like I didn't fucking work out. We had a Black Friday launch. I like was going, I had the whole thing done pretty much. All I had to do was like a couple more things with the website before she even came. But even just still, it was still like hard for me you have to get into a rhythm too. Like waking up early, fucking, and just write down your goals. There's so many different things that goes into it, but I found the most progress just having like a schedule, minimal fucking distractions of other people and other things, and just like creating good habits. And when you do listen to things and look at things, like I love fucking Logan Paul's podcast, but I don't listen to it as much because I found that it's just distracting me from other things. They'll talk about the game. They'll talk about like gamers, or they'll talk about this other thing or this other thing. And then all of a sudden I'm looking stuff up on YouTube and, going down that dark hole instead of if I was listening to like a fucking marketing podcast or something, talking about like how to run ads efficiently and stuff like that.
What's the Kyle Beats morning routine? What's the schedule look like for Kyle Beats?
The perfect schedule is this doesn't always happen, but the typical schedule would be, I'll tell you my perfect schedule would be wake up at 5:30, but the typical schedule is like wake up at 6:30, get up at like 7, and then we'll say get up at 7, and then I'm working out at like 7:30 minimum. But like I usually want to do it before that. But anyways, wake up early, work out. Either like this morning I ran a few miles through the hilly hills and freaking came back here. I have like a protein shake. Sometimes I'll go. The pool is freezing right now.
What kind of protein you eating? Are you on the whey, or are you on that vegan life now?
Actually, I've been on. I'm right now. It's the vegan protein.
Nice.
But I do have to like fucking get some BCAAs or something in my life, because I don't think there's BCAAs in that one that I have. But come back after my workout, protein shake. Depending on like the day, in the winter, I've been going in the pool because it's freezing. It's pretty much an ice bath. So like,
damn.
It's like literally fucking freezing. I still need to buy a freaking thermometer thing. Jump in the freaking freezing cold. It's all just like fucking training my mind pretty much. Like these are all things that I did not want to do. But like I wake up, I'll run 4 miles, jump in the freezing cold freaking ice bath, then I'll shower. After the shower, make some coffee, and then just fucking hammer out whatever I have to do that day.
So do you believe in that kind of contrary action thing? I forget what it's called. This idea where if you don't want to do something, you do it.
Dude, you ever listen to David Goggins?
A little bit, yeah.
Dude, that guy will explain the reason why you should do that stuff.
Right.
Like, even after Thanksgiving, like after we did the Black Friday thing, I was just chilling for like 3 or 4 or 5 days. I find myself when I'm in the shower and then I do the cold at the end, I find that you're just getting weaker, dude. Like that cold is horrible now. Like your brain doesn't want to do things. Like you're just strengthening. Like running for me, I love running so much because it's not a physical workout. It's a mental workout. It's getting when you're 4 miles into a run, not even 4 miles, dude. Like when you're like 2 miles into a 5-mile run and your brain just starts to fucking panic. It's like, how do you control that panic? And it's like symbolic for like some people do other things, but for me, it's just so symbolic with life because there's so many, no matter what you're doing, I'm making beats for a living, but there's like a billion other things that I don't want to deal with. Like fucking taxes or like all this other shit that you don't want to do, but you just have to do it. So it's like, how do you get past that? Like, fuck, I don't want to do this thing. And then you just get it done. And then like, that's what fulfillment is. It's like, what's the saying? It's like happiness without fulfillment is failure.
I like that. What is it? What at that 2 mile point? What are you feeling?
Just fucking let's stop and go home.
Right, but how do you keep going? You just tell your legs to keep going and that's it?
Yeah, you just don't stop, I guess. Like some people, I've heard David Goggins goes, all right, I'm going to go another, 20 steps. That's what he says. I'm going to go another 20 steps and then I'll stop. And you almost trick your brain into like continuing to go.
Yeah, almost like giving little rewards. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I learned that playing soccer too, because like you just find that switch when you're fucking 80 minutes into a soccer game. And I would like be the kid that fucking ran the whole time. Like I was just running the whole fucking time in the middle of the field. And you're 80 minutes in and something happens, so you have to sprint back. You just switch another gear.
Yeah, there's something.
You don't want to lose that gear either, because like fucking habits. I'm really big on habits because I'm an addictive person, so I have to keep my habits fucking perfect, or else I adapt bad habits.
I feel that. So, has the quarantine situation kind of changed any of that for you in terms of your daily habits? I know that for you, kind of uniquely, you've been relatively isolated for the last few years in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I mean, I said
so
this.
It's kind of like that, and then going into the quarantine situation, like.
Yeah, I have been fucking in this. These LED lights have been my life for the past fucking 3 or 4 years, pretty much.
Yeah. Do you like that?
I like the fact that, there's always something else on the horizon. Like even with, I've been taking a break on videos like this week, and I'll probably film one next week. Just cause we did a lot for fucking Black Friday, and just like I'm not forcing it anymore. Like unless I have a good idea, I'm not going to film it. But, what the fuck was I going to say?
I was just asking if you like the routine of just being in your studio,
Yeah, I like the structure of a target and then chasing after the target. Like when right now, I'm just like, all right, what's the next fucking thing? And like people, I feel like, some people will look at that as like, I used to look at it this way as like, fuck, like you're never satisfied. Like you do one thing and all of a sudden there's a next thing. There's always something. When can you just like relax and just, but it's like when I don't have that thing, the game's over, dude. Like I'm not gonna ever retire unless I can't fucking, my brain doesn't work, So it's like, yeah, I don't know.
You just love the game. You just love the game.
Yeah, I just love the target. Like even when, like this week I'm not filming, it's hard to even set the goals of like what to do. But when you have videos that you're filming every day and,
Do you ever get burned out on the videos, like in terms of feeling the pressure of needing to come up with ideas?
Yeah, so I think there's a balance with all that stuff because I used to do videos every single other day. So today would be filming, tomorrow will be editing, the next day filming, tomorrow editing. So you're putting out like 3-4 videos a week, like 15-minute videos where you're making a beat. I was vlogging too. I'm making a beat. I'm mixing the whole beat down and getting it out the next day and editing the whole video in like 3 hours. So like,
yeah, because it's not like you're just vlogging and then editing it. Like you're actually making a beat too.
yeah, you're making music.
You're making two creative things.
Yeah, it's a lot. And like, so I it was good that I did that because I think it's a balance because sometimes you have to realize when you're forcing it and when you're not forcing it. Like if I filmed the video this week, I might have been forcing it, but like, because there's times where you're not going to want to do it, but you just have to fucking get through it. You know what I mean? There's times where you're like, you're feeling like stress and you're like, damn, I have to get this fucking thing out tomorrow. You set a deadline, a goal in your head, and you're like, fuck, I have to get this thing out. So there's times where I've gotten burnt out in the past just because I set these things for myself. Like I got to put out a video every other day and all this stuff. But now that I've kind of learned the game of YouTube and just the game of like businesses as well and like marketing, I'm able to like recognize when I'm like actually feeling burnt out and not just not wanting to do something,
And so you don't shy away now from feeling burnt out. You accept that, kind of take a step back for a second, don't put out a video.
I don't think I'm ever fully burnt out because if I'm not filming, like I'm not filming this week, but I'm doing fucking so many other things,
No, I get that. That. I guess I just think that like YouTube is this weird social experiment where we feel a lot of pressure, right? To upload.
It's because of the view
and how
count,
much,
dude.
Yeah, right. How
YouTube
much of that
makes
is
it that
internal?
way.
They do, for sure. All of this social media does that to us, right? It's this, weird positive reinforcement loop that we seek, post on Instagram, get likes, get comments, get more likes than your last post. Oh, fuck. This post that I posted got less likes than the last post I posted. Like, I'm falling off.
Yeah. I think it's good to have some sort of fucking goal to like, if you were, I always need to have some fucking thing that's next when it comes to like a launch of some sort, even if it's music, like if you have a big song coming out in a month or an album, we'll say, like for me, it's music. It's fucking, if I have a big video or something, or if I have, like some big launch, like we're doing a bunch of cool stuff in 2021, with like fucking Kyle Beats is going to be insane. So like there has to be some sort of goal where it's going to make me want to put in, want to get views on fucking YouTube videos along with the videos themselves, cause like the videos themselves are fucking goals. That's why I like it. Like some people just get into a rut where they're just making stuff just to try to stay fucking relevant.
Right.
Rather than like attacking to see if you can make something that's the best video you've ever made in your life that does the best ever,
So you're constantly trying to push that goalpost farther.
And just not get into a fucking rhythm where it's the same video over and over.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to make some new shit and just get inspired with just the video alone.
Do you actually have brainstorming sessions where you think about that? What is that for me? Or do you just...
So I do a lot more of that type of stuff now where I write down a bunch of shit, or even YouTube specific. I'll write down like my fucking YouTube video ideas, and I'll really analyze, it's just the thing about getting obsessed. Like I'll analyze the fucking algorithm and analyze every single YouTuber that's doing well, like Mr. Beast and stuff, and see what are they doing? How are they doing it? And just write down all these ideas, exactly how it would go, and just,
Do you think that YouTube is changing in the sense that it used to be that there was a kind of growth hack type of idea where you just frequently upload every single day or every other day? Now. That's dead. Why
Yeah.
do you think that is dead? Because there's just so much content out there now.
It's because YouTube wants people to, they want people to go on YouTube and they want people to stay there for as long as possible. So they realize that, you know, yeah, like
So it's quality over quantity now for the YouTube algorithm.
it's just everything. But yeah, like quality is a lot more relevant than it used to be. Like it used to be, 2016, 2017, that's when the daily vloggers and the fucking gamers just took over, because gamers, all they had to do was play video games
and then just upload it every single day. Yeah, right.
So like obviously there's creative fucking gamers and shit, but like some of them figured out, oh, I can just play GTA for 2 hours, get 2 full videos from it. My editor can throw it together and post them in the same day tomorrow and just do the same thing every single day. So they're getting like hundreds of millions of views a month and just making millions of dollars a month on fucking AdSense. But I think YouTube changed it. So now it's more so like, if you're a gamer and you have a video that's 33 minutes long and someone watches 10 minutes of it, it's not based on just that watch time. It's based on the amount of the video that they watched and if they enjoyed it. And like, it just comes down to making really good videos that people watch all the way through.
Well, and I imagine it's probably this phenomenon too, where now it's becoming so much more democratized because everybody's creating content now on YouTube, and so the more videos there are, the more competition there is. It's a supply and demand thing, and obviously there's a lot of demand for content, but there's a lot of supply too. There's so much content in the world.
Yeah, you want to let
cut through. You got to be good.
Yeah, you want to let if you have momentum on YouTube, you want to give time to let your videos breathe a little bit, I think.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed now is that. It's not really about, like, when I was watching YouTube in 2015, watching, Casey Neistat or whoever these daily, vlog channels that were so big back then, it was about watching the latest upload. But now you kind of just watch YouTube as a streaming service. You know what I mean? You hop around to different pieces of content. I could watch a video of yours that's 2 months old, but I just like the title of it. And it's like,
see, that's the shit that I think about now is like,
it's a streaming service now.
Someone can go to my channel and binge 30 of the videos and I'm not like fucking cringing at it. Like, I used to post so much that there was so many videos that were just fillers just because I felt like I had to post the next day. So like if someone goes back and watches one of those videos, I'm kind of like, fuck, don't watch that one. That one got rush uploaded just because I felt like, because that was the thing, was like watch time, total watch time. And now it's shifted where people can let it breathe. But if you look at people like fucking David Dobrik, like, the dude would go film the entire day, film like 40 different things, and not one of those things would even end up in the video that week.
Yeah, and you just break it down to 4 minutes.
It's just like,
a highlight reel.
So it's like this. It's almost like the same amount of time goes into YouTube, but there's just a lot more time spent on like strategically planning and filming a lot more.
Yeah, so and I imagine too, also because there's so much out there now, people want to know what they're getting now, and they maybe had a little bit more openness 5 years ago to taking a chance on a video, on a vlog, and so vlogs would do well, and people would run around with a new environment every single day, doing something new every day. But now the videos that do great a lot of the time now are the same the same set, you know what I mean? The same kind of situation every single time. And it's like the same, building blocks to a good video every time. And that's,
there's a place for everything. Like, I think the day in the life shit will always do good.
For sure.
It just matters of what you want to do, cause like some people take fucking forever. Some people will record videos in 15 minutes and their editor will edit them in an hour and then they'll upload it.
No, that is true. There is room for everybody in this world of content, and that's what's so cool about it too. Is everybody can find their following and their niche, right?
Yeah, I think it's just important to be yourself and do what the fuck you want to do. Because at the end of the day, like that's what makes you unique. Because like now that I kind of have a better idea of YouTube and stuff, I'm just kind of doing whatever, like doing my fucking stupid jokes and just all the stuff that I do every day is just being filmed and fucking edited. Like it's not any, I'm not like looking at this person and see, I appreciate what people do and see how they work the fucking algorithm and, you know, how to make it appeal towards YouTube shit. But I'm just trying to fucking tell my own story, film stuff my own way.
Did you ever feel like uncomfortable being yourself? I get it now. You're, you're Kyle
Dude,
Beats.
remember when I was filming fucking, dude, you see me fucking not be comfortable doing things, dude. When I was like filming in your like episode 3 of Making the Beat or something, when I went to New York and we filmed.
Oh yeah. Wow. I forgot about
apartment. That's like episode 3 of Making a Beat or whatever.
I remember that. Yeah.
It took me like 30 tries to do the intro, dude. And it was just, hey guys, gonna make a beat. All right, let's get it. Like it took me,
right.
took me like 10. I have like 10 different takes of that, dude. Like, and just, I don't know. I think a lot of that stuff too. A lot of that was fucking, even doing those shows, dude, was like a good way to get out of that fucking attitude of just like worried about, you know, what people are going to say or think.
Would you ever tour again as Kyle Beats? Do some sort of...
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would you do? Like public speaking, producing, rapping kind of extravaganza?
I think it'd be more so like, you know, go to some sort of talk and fucking do something like this. And if I did my own tours and stuff, it'd be like with music. I don't know if I could really see myself doing like the, you know, being a judge for a beat battle or like something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know. Like right now, my focus is like continuing to make music. When it comes to that stuff, it's like continuing to make music and then continuing to grow just like in all aspects. And then that stuff is just going to come. Like I'm going to do a freaking Kyle Beats tour. The goal for all that on that side of things is to like do a tour, you know, in like House of Blues in Boston, fucking sell out, things like that. And just with my music. And like, then once I'm at that point, then it's going to be like, okay, let's kind of reevaluate and see what the next goal is. But that's one of my goals, is to like fucking sell out the House of Blues on like a Kyle Beats tour.
That'd be pretty sweet,
of course, like doing the talks and stuff like that. I feel like I could already do those types of things at right now.
No, for sure. If we weren't in a pandemic, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd open for you, bro. Let me know. Kyle used to say on tour. Kyle used to say on tour, one day you guys are gonna be opening up for me, and he meant it. It was an ongoing joke.
Well, dude, I just see these things in my head, dude. I just see like
you're a visionary. You paint the vision.
Yeah, that was when I was making fucking EDM beats, and I was like, imagine if I fucking DJ'd in front of 100,000 people, and then you guys could open up for me.
Why do you not care about getting placements with other artists?
Because I don't know, dude. It's just like
the hot seat.
It's just like fucking a waste of time, dude. Like, what did that one?
I completely agree. It's a fucking huge waste of time. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah.
Not even playing devil's advocate. I'm just asking the question because it's a fun question, and I think you have a good answer.
There was one guy that fucking even told you back when we were staying in Santa Monica doing mix and mastering one of your albums. I forget which one it was.
Yeah.
But one representative at a big label was saying how it's like producers are fucking a waste of time producing or something.
I'll tell the story because it doesn't matter. We're talking about a world president of one of the biggest record labels in the world, and he said, this was in like 2015. He's a friend of mine, and we were talking, and he said, you know, it doesn't really matter. This, you know, producers are like a dime a dozen right now. You can just go online and get a beat for $200, and it could be a hit record. And I was like, shit. I mean, you're right. It's true. Yeah. There's and it's not to say producers are a dime a dozen, but he was making the point that, you know, every artist can get access to the best beats in the world now because of the internet. The game has completely changed.
The music game is fucking insane, dude. Like
Yeah.
it's just like you have to own what you're putting out pretty much. Because I think, to flip it, I also think producers are in the best position producers have ever been in. Like there's someone like me, zero fucking industry anything. And I mean, dude, it fucking, there's a lot of fucking people producing for fucking, the biggest people in the world that would trade spots with me in fucking half a second.
Well, that's what it is everything has become more level playing field. People can build their own brands, use the internet, use social media, use TikTok to just build their own thing and not need to get a placement with the top 40 artists to be recognized as a great producer anymore.
It comes down to the shit we were talking about earlier too, where it's just a waste of fucking my focus, dude. Like it's the reason why even when I probably could have done sponsorships, I never did like sponsorships. And now that I actually know how to fucking run a business and like do things with the plugin that I'm doing, I'm like, dude, why would I ever do a fucking sponsorship now just for that little bit of money? And it's just like, they'll give me like, I'm at like what, 440K subscribers. Like they'll give me like, we'll say at least $4,000 and I'd fucking do a video. They'd give me a bunch of paperwork, micromanage it. The video will come out 2 days after because they're so fucking, can you say this a different way and all this stuff. I just don't want to deal with any of that stuff.
Yeah, they might not be happy because you don't say it the right way on the video, all that bullshit.
Yeah, because like the thing I like is the freedom. That's like my number one thing. That's like where all this started. Is I just wanted freedom, dude. So like if anything is going to deter that, then I'm not fucking doing it.
So you didn't want to have to deal with working with an artist at a major label or anything like that.
Because that would probably be fun. It would be more so just like all the shit after. Like there's so many people talking about not getting paid. First of all, even if if I post a song today and it gets 1 billion streams on Spotify today, you're not seeing that streaming money for 3 months at least.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like with a label and a producer, if a song gets 1 billion streams, like if you produce for God's Plan for Drake and it has 1 billion fucking streams, that's like, that's like $4 million fucking dollars or something like that. And then you take 3% of that and then you get paid that fucking like 2 years from now. Where if you just create a company and launch it, you're making fucking way more money than that just putting out some shit.
Yeah, and there's no reason that producers themselves can't be the thing. And I think that's what's so cool about what's going on with YouTube and
look at
the
fucking
world that
money,
you
dude.
live in. Right. The world that you live in on the internet and building this brand that you have built, and Internet Money and all these other dudes that have done similar things. The producers are the brand, are the talent, just like, a hip hop or a rap artist is the talent for different reasons. One of us is using our vocals, the other's using a different instrument. And that's cool that we're at a point now that there's a little bit more recognition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's just who's ever in control of putting out, like who's the one behind the business of putting out the song and marketing it. That's the person who's getting paid. It's not, it doesn't even mean it could be the fucking engineer if you really wanted it to. Like it doesn't matter if it's the artist, the fucking producer, the label. It's like who's taking the song and uploading it themselves, and who's the person putting it out and spending the marketing dollars and getting the music video done, and like who's in control of like how it's all being done. That's who's making the money.
Yeah, and you said why not just do that for myself? Play all of those roles essentially. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Even with music, dude, like I'm fucking working on putting out songs through just like my own freaking label, just because like why not?
Yeah.
Just songs that I'm making, like so I can put out songs on my beats that I'm not even on.
Right. It's all about that turnkey solution. You got the beats, you got the video, you got the vocals, you do it all. You keep 100% of it, even
Cut
if it
my
reaches.
Hair.
Oh man, remember when you cut my hair in Boston? It was a good cut. Kyle Fades.
I cut my hair this morning.
There you go. Appreciate that, bro. looking fresh for the podcast episode, man. So what is that next thing in your mind for you? What are you looking forward to in 2021?
I got a couple exciting things business wise. New company being launched. I just like the idea of just there's a lot more people taking recognition and like fucking recognizing that there's a lot of attention. Like the more attention you get, the more views you get, the more you climb, the more my fucking ads are popping up and all this shit. The more money that comes in, and the more exciting things that happen around Kyle Beats, the more people are like starting to take notice too. So I just love the idea of just the growth, doing cool stuff, like having great fucking conversations with people, putting out businesses and seeing how far you can take those, and just like fucking playing the game. I'm just constantly excited for the next fucking thing. Yeah,
you've managed to turn the Kyle Beats brand into, and your YouTube brand into, a little bit of a product brand too. You've got the drip plugin, you're saying you're working on another business. Was that always in the cards for you? Did you see that was a great way for you to just kind of build the next step of your business instead? And because you make a really good point, instead of doing a brand deal with, XYZ plugin, why not create your own, right? Why not put the effort in?
It was definitely always in the cards. I just didn't understand how valuable it actually was. If you can create a real, brand from it. I didn't actually realize how much more valuable that was.
Why is that so valuable? Just because it's scalable? And
people just, it's scalable. It's separate from Kyle Beats. It's like dripplugin.com. Even though that one's still Kyle Beats Inc. Like it's just like, it's a separate thing almost. It kind of lives a little bit on its own. Like there's people that have that plugin that have no idea it's attached to me.
Right. Probably a lot of people.
Yeah. And I didn't realize how valuable it was to like build something new, and use the momentum. Cause I feel like a Kyle Beats thing, like that's something directly related to Kyle Beats, can only go so far. I feel like people take it more seriously when it's like a separate thing. But, I always wanted to do that. I mean, I just like creating shit. I thought it was just gonna be a cool little plugin thing that we did. I didn't realize that it was gonna be able to go as far as it is, fucking.
So at the time you were just like, let me make this plugin, see where it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was just gonna be another stream of revenue. It was people are gonna love it. It's gonna be sick. Like, damn, he made his own plugin. That's insane. But I didn't understand. I knew the value of it. I see other people doing this shit, but I didn't understand it. I feel like you don't understand things until it happens, to you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like truly understand it, But
how did you manage the come up in terms of managing the financial aspect of it when it was a grind early on YouTube?
Brutal. The biggest grind was when I was in Florida and I had to like.
Yeah, tell me about that, because of course I know, like we were friends through this whole process, and I think this is, again, I want to add value to the people listening to this podcast. I want to talk about these themes. How do you mentally get there to figure out how to learn your own P&L and learn how to manage your finances.
So the first time I sold, like that first beat that I sold, like I got this software called Instagress. Doesn't exist anymore, but it was like I'm pretty sure you fucking like invested in me for like a week or something.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I did. Yeah, that's right.
And you doubled your money or something. I'm like,
damn, I should have asked for equity. Fuck.
There wasn't really anything written. It was more so, hey, I'm broke. But
that is true though. That is true.
I got freaking I got like Instagress. I got like 2 months of Instagress, and then on that freaking Mike Stud tour, I was just in the van all day, and it was just like a thing it was just like a bot that was hitting up like rappers. It was just saying, "Hey, I'm a music producer. Like, fucking DM me." I got some beats for you or whatever. So I was just answering my DMs all day, just like copy and pasting the same message.
And you were
this is
selling beats to these people on. You were getting
yeah, I had a
Instagram DMs.
BeatStars, so I would direct them there.
Yep.
And it was just hitting up like 40 people every hour. And I found accounts that were fucking, you know, they were accounts that rappers freaking followed. They were like mixtape, submit your mixtape accounts and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like 2016, so like there was no rules. Like Instagram was literally looked at as like a business tool. Like businesses use this to get more engagement because you could like photos with the similar hashtags.
Right.
It wasn't looked at as like a bot as it clearly fucking is nowadays, but just because it was newer at the time. But
you were just trying to find any avenue to build some sales pipelines.
So at the beginning, you know, I went on the tour. You gave me money up front to DJ. And then I fucking pay my bills. And then that first week of the tour, that's when I sold a wave lease for like $50. And then the next day I sold a freaking unlimited rights for $150. So there I am, made fucking $200 in 1 week. And I was like, holy shit. Like after, and you paid me up front for the tour. So I made like freaking almost $1,000 in 1 week or something like that. And I was like, fuck. Like, so I just kept going. And then the next week made a little bit more. And then when I got home from that tour, I was in freaking Boston and I just put together, I was like, okay, here's my rent every month. Here's my car insurance. And it was like, I had to make $336 a week to just survive. Not even food or anything.
Yeah.
Literally just like,
what were you doing for food? Like
literally just fucking, in Florida, everything is cheaper. But like literally it was just big bag of jasmine rice, $3 for like 120 servings. Fucking ground chicken. Unfortunately not the organic good one because I couldn't afford that one.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford it.
Gotta do what you gotta do for a little bit.
And then just like, you know, fucking literally $1 dozen eggs. I just get 3 of those. So like I would look back like a month ago, I was looking back at my old bank account statements. I literally had trips to Trader Joe's where I'd spend like $24. Like I can remember every time going in there and looking at my bank account and just like, I mean, dude, you know, I was with you on these when we were in certain places, I literally just couldn't pay for things. Like I just didn't have money.
No, I get it, man. And I've been there too. And anyone who's ever done anything legitimate has been to the point where they have put everything on the line and they've gone broke or they owe money or whatever it might be. And
so that was how I managed it though, was just like fucking, I wrote down the exact amount I had to make every single week.
A little you know, rough kind of P&L together and had to just figure it out. And I think the theme too is like, obviously Instagram doesn't exist anymore. That specific example doesn't matter though. It's just the idea that you had to figure out some way to just get that first little bit of traction and then continue to let that ride.
So that's what I tell people now, dude. It's like, because producers I posted a video like 3 years ago probably talking about how I did that, you know, hitting up rappers on Instagram, and people still DM me to this day and just be like, hey, I'm hitting up people like you said. I was like, on Instagram.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it doesn't matter. It changes.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you have to figure out what's the game for today. Because that was the game in 2016.
At the time, that was a unique, good idea.
Yeah, no one was doing that.
If you're starting something now, you have to think about how can I come up with a unique, good idea to reach out to people. And, you know, if I'm selling people coffee mugs, I got to figure out, you know, I should make a TikTok channel or, you know, like I should reach out to the top small business people on TikTok and get them to review my coffee mugs. You got to think outside the box and just do it. Just figure out a way to execute and figure out a way to be as lean as possible, like you were saying, and just make it work.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, dude, it's like fucking, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. Fucking everyone else is going to continue doing what they're doing. So if you don't fucking, you know, if you don't actually go out there and figure it out, then that's it. No one's going to care. It's going to be, you're going to live your life fucking unfulfilled, and that's it.
No, it's very real. It's very real.
to keep it real.
Yeah. And everybody's situation is different, and everyone's circumstances are what they are, and you have to figure out how to work within those circumstances.
Yeah.
And you're a great example of that. I mean, you had some of the the craziest circumstances with what you went through with taking care of your mom for the last couple of years and everything like that. And so, everybody, it's super relevant that everybody's circumstance matters, but it's also, it doesn't need to be something that can, be an excuse
you can't
to
do
stop
anything
you.
about it, dude.
You can't do, your circumstance is
fucking-
your circumstance and someone else's is theirs.
Yeah.
And life isn't fair. Sometimes things are easier for other people.
And how fucking great is my story that I had actual fucking, I had some fucking crazy shit happen with my mom getting cancer and everything. You know more details than fucking the world knows, but just like, my story is so much better. Like, imagine if, my fucking dad was a millionaire and, he fucking gave me his old YouTube channel, or you know what I mean? Like fucking
Yeah.
whatever. Like, if that was the case, like, your story sucks now. Like, there's no, I'm sitting here, fucking depressed every day because, I'm sitting here fucking depressed because everyone, I didn't have a real come up, or I have to, be president of the fucking United States to, like, in order to really feel fulfillment. Like, I have to go way above,
Yeah, right.
anything to even feel fulfilled.
Right.
You can't appreciate fucking what you have, what you've accomplished already.
Yeah, and that's all I wanted to say on that is, like, it's hard, man. Sometimes it's hard for people to figure out what that first move is, or to take the risk of, leaving the job or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
and
people
you
play
just
on
have to do
fear.
it on your own time, you know what I mean? And you do have to think about, what are my circumstances and how can I actually make this happen? And it might not be right this second, but there is always some way to figure something out to start that business or do something like that, no matter what the situation is.
Yeah. Can't let fear control your life too. I feel like fucking
Yeah.
everyone lives on fear of, failing, mostly fear of just like what other people are going to think about them. And that's like a fucking huge thing. And this is like what I always say is, like, at the end of the day, I'm sitting here thinking of all I care about is what I'm doing next today. Once this podcast is over, you're going to be like, okay, what am I doing, the rest of the day? But, fucking people are posting on the internet and on Instagram, or, doing whatever they're doing, buying a fancy car, trying to impress, if they are trying
People
to
that they
impress
don't
other
even like.
people. And at the end of the day, everyone just cares about themselves, dude. No one is thinking about the other person. Like, damn, I'm fucking impressed. At the end of the day, everyone's thinking about themselves and how they can fucking
Totally.
So that's what I always say. So it's at the end of the day, you're here, you're in your life alone.
Yeah, facts. No, people don't give a fuck about you. They really don't.
Yeah.
Like, this Instagram shit has changed our brains, but do you ever go through your Instagram and be like, I'm judging this person? No, you're like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, all right,
well,
they're posting this.
Some of it is like trying to impress people, but it also relates to the same thing with fear, because they're afraid of like what other people are going to think. But it's like, at the end of the day, dude, everyone just forgets about it the next day.
Yeah, yeah. We're none of us are that important that it's
Nah, people just forget in 2 seconds, dude.
Right,
Like,
right.
in
Well,
10
there's a
years,
lot to
people-
distract yourself with these days too.
Yeah.
On to the next. Like, if people don't like that post, they're just going to look at the next post. Don't get me wrong. I think about that shit all the time. Social media will do that to you. I try and be like that. I try and be of the mind state of just have that, those horse blinders on, and just think about what you're doing. And for the most part, that's how I live my life. But I have noticed that since social media has become such a part of our life, we do as humans think more than we should now about what are other people thinking? What are other people doing?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it's an unproductive place to be, for sure. And for me, I've always it's just a balancing act. You recognize when you're thinking like that, and then you just get out of it. And you know what I'm saying? you go focus on what you need to focus. You just do your work. I've never had a problem just figuring out that I need to sit down and just focus on my shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think what I do that helps is I turn, what's it called? It's like a mode that like,
Do not disturb.
no, downtime.
Oh, what's that?
It's like, it's next to do not disturb. It's under screen time. If you click on downtime, you can set it. So I used to set it so at 8 p.m. all my like, social media type of distraction apps would turn off, and they don't turn on and back. They don't turn back on until like 8 a.m.
So you just can't open it? You just can't open them?
Yeah, you can open them, but like there's a little warning that
They're
pops
like, hey,
up. They're
don't
locked.
do this.
They're all like, the opacity goes down.
Okay.
But things, things that it's basically things that I wouldn't just sit there and binge on. So like, obviously I don't care. And, Amazon is fine. My notes, productive things still stay up there.
Right.
The weather, maps, photos, like things that I'm not going to sit there and binge for fucking 3 hours. But what I've done now is I just set it the whole fucking day, right? So Instagram is off the whole day. And if I click on it, I can ignore the limit and do it 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes, it just locks again. So I can get in there. Because like I can't just, if I would just get rid of my phone. But unfortunately, social media is my entire fucking everything, my life.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is when you do YouTube, when you do anything creative these days, social media is the business tool as much as it is this weird sociological experiment for all of us too. So then you got to get this other balance of figuring out how to
because I go on there, check my fucking DMs, and all of a sudden I'm fucking 40 pages deep into, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you're just getting distracted.
Right.
So with the 15-minute thing, it just locks again. So I can get in there, check my DMs, make sure that's pretty much all I do. Is check my DMs, maybe post a story or something, and then get out of there. And then that's it. That's like my whole thing. That's my new trick.
Man, it's been a long journey, dude. I'm proud to see the business that you've built, the success that you've had over the last 4 years, overcoming adversity, becoming, more of yourself, doing all this stuff. It's awesome to see as a friend, a colleague, all this stuff. It's just great to see what you've built and what you're going to continue to build, man.
Thanks, man. I mean, dude, I'm just trying to inspire everyone, dude, at the end of the day.
No, that's why I wanted to have you on. That's why I wanted to have you on as one of the early guests, because I know that our conversation could be one of these, just kind of one of these inspiring conversations. Not every podcast episode is going to be like this, but I want to talk to people who have great stories and where we can figure out common links that can just like, motivate people a little bit, How do you, what do you think about like your podcast? Like, do you just kind of go into it and just say whatever happens here happens? What are you trying to get out of like your pod? I know you said you only posted 4 this year.
It depends. If we have a guest, fucking when I was doing my podcast, now there's more producer podcasts out there. So like, and so all the guests I had, we kind of went through the backstory at the beginning because nobody knew their backstory, these like fucking Taz Taylor and fucking Aries, who's a huge artist now. Taz Taylor is an Internet Money fucking biggest like producer label that exists ever. And so we were kind of going through their backstory. That was like a big part of the first like year of the podcast. And then I was like, damn, I want to just like, I don't know, just like change it up a little bit and, tell the backstory. But if it's a guest, like tell the backstory, but also just talk about like stuff that relates to today, which I feel like we did. We just kind of bounced around a bunch.
Yeah, I've never wanted to like, I don't want to interview people. I just want to hang out. I want to talk, Yeah.
And I think, I'm, like I said, I'm focused on just like getting bigger guests. Like I want to grow the fucking channel so big that, I can get these huge artists to come on or something like that. And just like, have it be normal and just, that's where I want to go with the podcast. And I thought I wanted to talk about like current topics and stuff, but I did that a couple times and I was like, you know what? It's kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
Just for the pod. I was doing that just kind of for the podcast clips almost. just so I could clip things and get clickbait and stuff like that. But,
Like, what's going on with Charlie D'Amelio?
yeah, Charlie D'Amelio was at fucking this restaurant, and fucking.
People. I don't know why people are hating on the D'Amelios for the for any of that snail shit.
Because
they're about this.
Yeah, because they're fucking 13-year-olds, dude. I don't think anyone's really hating.
Like the kids that are watching this shit and hating.
Because they're fucking 11-year-olds with iPhones, dude. And then, oh my God, she's so snobby. She wants 100 million followers or whatever. And then a million 11-year-olds unfollow her, dude. They're not. And then Snapchat fucking, all these stupid fucking publications take it and put it on their websites and on their Snapchat.
Everybody's just getting their money. Everybody's just making a big deal out of the story, trying to get their money.
Yeah, it's all bullshit, dude. It's all just fucking media.
Yeah,
bullshit, dude.
Yeah, there's
now
a lot
that
of that.
I've seen
these days.
how clickbait works and how all this stuff happens, and when you get more views, you make more money and all this stuff. It just makes so much fun.
Dude, all of this stuff is just meant to just grab our attention because everyone is trying to get as much of your attention on their app or someone else's so that they can just advertise to you or learn about you and then sell that information to people.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I think
pretty much.
I think this was a great convo, man. I enjoyed it. I definitely am going to have you back on for sure, but I'm honored to again have you be one of the first guests on the podcast. Help me out with this new YouTube venture. Yeah, we'll be in real life hopefully 2021. That's the goal. We're gonna do one where we're gonna podcast.
Where we're gonna race the whole time. Dude.
I can't believe we didn't talk about Mario Kart at all.
I think one of my goals, dude.
Maybe we should a little bit before we go.
I think one of my goals in this, like, I'm trying to just make the producer stuff more mainstream. I'm trying to like, okay, what can I do? I'm getting all these views on TikTok and stuff. I have millions of fucking TikTok views. 100,000 followers, and I've barely even done anything on there, just repurposing the YouTube stuff. I'm like, damn, how can I make this stuff like mainstream? What could I give to the mainstream audience and, to make it more than just like these kids who are making beats on FL Studio all day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm like, that's one of my focuses right now. But I feel like, after I sort of figure that stuff out and I have millions of followers and like, my audience is 10 times the size it is today, or even 5 times the size it is today. Like, I feel like one of my things is like going to be making fucking Mario Kart 64 a mainstream thing again. Like, I mean, making me just be able to play Mario Kart and just make that like part of my thing. Dude, coffee, beats, all that shit.
Mario Kart. Yeah. I love that. But that's the thing is that N64 console was the perfect balance of like, it's good technology, but it's still truly hardware.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no software involved. It's just, it's just hardware. So it works. Like that shit is 25 years old and I have it in my living room and you turn it on and it works. Yeah. Way better than the Xbox that I've had for 2 years or whatever.
Dude, I fucking turn on.
Cause it's simple.
The Xbox behind me and there was like 4 gigs of updates and then like another 20 gigs. And I was like, okay, anytime I tried to play it, I just turned it off within minutes.
Yeah. I think we'll do a podcast episode where we do a Grand Prix and just
it's not your podcast, it's mine.
Man, thank you for being on, bro. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, dude. I'm excited. Is this out yet or no? This is not.
Yeah, we're live, dude. We're on YouTube live right now.
Oh shit! What's up, everyone?
I'm just fucking with you. So I'm dropping the first episode on Monday, and then I'm dropping. I think I'm gonna drop every Monday. Although what do you think? Do you think Monday's a good day?
I think you should do. This is what I heard. I'm not sure if it's changed. I'm not like up to date in the podcast game. But you should do your first 3 episodes, drop them all at once.
I was actually thinking about that too. Is dropping like 3 episodes.
That's what got me to like. I was like number 18 in the fucking charts when I did that for like music.
Yeah, I actually might do that. I might do that. So
that's what I heard from.
If I keep this clip in and you hear this and that's what happened, that's how it happened. Kyle Beats, visionary.
If not, it doesn't matter because you have to keep it going.
Right.
And it's a good way for if people are like, man, fuck this kid Kyle Beats, they can go listen to someone else and still like.
Yeah, it gives a couple options of like, I got a podcast now. Pick the episode that you want to listen to first.
Like think about Joe Rogan. Like he talks about he has comedians, he's got people that hunt, and he's got MMA fighters.
Right. Right.
3 different categories. Like I don't listen to every Joe Rogan podcast.
Totally. I hear you.
Yeah, man. This is fire.
Yeah, this was fun, brother. We'll have you on again. We'll do it in person. We'll make it happen. Check out Kyle Beats. You know where to find him. Drip plugin, dripplugin.com. All right. Peace out.